Start saving for your golden years with a Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
CVM News at 7 headlines Friday. Brought to you by SuperMed Family of Pharmacies. Super happy, super healthy, SuperMed.
Tonight in CVM News at 7. Taxing tails, St. Mary protesters demand new tax office. Major battles at JC. Basil Jarrett threatens defamation suit. And back on course, JUTC stalemate ends. Discussions continue. Also this evening, crime, a public health crisis. Regional leaders weigh in. In business news, major health boost. Issa Trust Foundation injects millions into local health care. And in sports, 2 Jamaican referees named for 2024 Olympics. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. I'm TK Dawkins.
And I'm Carolyn Brown. It's Friday, April 5, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, we begin with another developing story. The controversy at Jamaica College JC has intensified over the last several days, following another lawsuit filed by the school's board against a former president of the Old Boys Association, Major Basil Jarrett. Despite protests, acting principal Wayne Robinson says he'll not relent until Jarrett is made to answer questions surrounding donations amounting to $20 million.
However, Jarrett on CVM News at noon revealed his intention to sue Robinson for defamation in a case that's growing increasingly controversial. Here's Ramon Gordon.
A targeted smear campaign. That's how former president of the Jamaica College Old Boys Association, Major Basil Jarrett, is describing the latest lawsuit brought against him by 10 members of the JC School Board. The accusers have fingered Jarrett for defamation over comments he made at a meeting weeks ago. Major Jarrett calls this latest charge ludicrous.
I was in a PTA Zoom meeting speaking to members of the PTA who were asking me questions why I resigned from the PTA. In response to those questions, 10 persons from the board have sued me, claiming that I was referring to them. It's unrelenting and it's bizarre.
Yesterday, a group of displeased JC Old Boys protested outside the school, demanding the immediate resignation of board chairman Lance Hilton and his team over what they see as the wasteful use of school resources for malicious prosecution. Despite the pushback, acting principal Wayne Robinson doubled down, saying there would be no reprieve for Jarrett without information on more than $20 million raised for the school, now allegedly missing.
They first accused me of making off with $3 million worth of uniform money. Then they realized that there's no case there. Yesterday, they've expanded that claim now, saying that, well, we want to find $20 million. So because they went out there yesterday further defaming me, I will be suing Wayne Robinson for defamation. Yes, my court problems aren't going away.
Jarrett's legal troubles date back to 2021, when he very publicly opposed the JC School Board's decision to retain and eventually pay off embattled former Education Minister and Principal Ruel Reid. The Major says this latest round of attacks has taken a toll.
It's been a very distressing period for me. In the initial stages, I was stressed out. It did affect me. I wouldn't go out in public because I didn't know if people thought I was a thief. Jamaicans see this as a boys being boys having a little dispute at JC. It's not. It's about abuse of power, victimization. It's shameful is what it is.
Our news center contacted acting JC principal Wayne Robinson. He was, at the time, unaware of the impending defamation suit headed straight at him. In a statement to CVM News, he said, "I'm simply asking for an account of school funds, nothing else. I'm just seeking answers." Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
Now, all the way up on the list of priorities for the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, is mental health, which the organization says it will continue promoting amid the region's crime problem. The topic was highlighted at the media launch of the 68th Annual Car for Health Research Conference in St. Lucia. Trisha Gay Kelly has the details.
Crime remains an issue that not only Jamaica is battling, but other countries in the Caribbean as well. However, like many Jamaicans, St. Lucians are now concerned about the increasing crime rate in their country. The island recorded 15,357 crimes in 2023. Health Minister Moses Baptiste, while speaking at the media launch of the Caribbean Public Health Agency CARFA's annual conference, says it has become a great concern to him as it is now impacting the operations of the government.
Crime affects every sector of our society, from families, communities, the tourism sector, education, health sector, and the documented economic impacts on our country. The effects on the health sector are of particular concern to me.
Along with this impact, citizens have also been concerned about their mental health, now more than ever. They are especially worried for frontline workers forced to witness gruesome scenes on a daily basis. But CARFA's Executive Director, Dr. Joy St. John, says currently there's a stress in the workplace program specifically designed to address stress levels these workers encounter.
The mental health, the debriefing of staff in a crisis, for example, post-hurricane, or even day-to-day, as you said, in dealing with situations which are pretty extreme and gross.
The program caters to nurses, firefighters, emergency room workers, and just about any frontline worker tackling the issue firsthand. But even with this initiative, there's more work to be done. That's according to St. Lucia's medical officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar George.
We know it's one of the areas that we need to strengthen. And as a part of the CAFA conference, one of the areas that we know from a preventative point of view is looking at the family members of persons who were directly involved or victims of violence.
CARFA hosted its 68th Annual Health Research Conference media launch on the island in late March. However, these are some of the issues the stakeholders hope to address around the impact of crime on public health later this month. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
The court system has made significant strides in reducing the infamous backlog which has long plagued local courts. The latest achievement, not attained by many courts in the Caribbean at any level, came 2 years ahead of the projected time frame. That announcement from Chief Justice Brian Sykes. Celine Campbell reports.
Amidst persistent criticisms regarding the backlog of cases in the justice system, Chief Justice Brian Sykes is reporting a significant reduction. Ramping up its effectiveness and efficiency, at the end of 2023, the net backlog for parish courts fell under 2.5%. This brings the net backlog to 16%. However, Chief Justice Sykes strongly emphasizes the role of the parish courts. He explains 90% of the country's total caseload is handled there, with 70% relating to traffic offences.
A lot of work went into this. The judges of the parish courts, the attorneys at law, the police officers, the probation services, the medical profession, all the persons who provide third-party documents to the courts have played a significant role in the parish courts being as efficient as they are.
Following the achievement is a revised time standard for various cases dealt within the parish court. According to Justice Sykes, cases will be classified according to their level of complexity.
For simple cases, it's 3 months. For standard cases, 6 months. For complex cases, 12 months. And for highly complex cases, 20 months. And we believe that that is achievable based upon the examination of the data.
Meanwhile, in an attempt to maintain the standards, the Chief Justice announced that a second strategic planning period is pending. He says the focus is to reduce the net backlog below 10%.
The launch of which I am happy to tell you is April 10, 2024, and that plan will run from 2024 to 2028, and you will hear more about that and its plans next week at the appropriate time.
The Supreme Court, however, saw a reduction of 76.6% clearance rate. This marks the third year the clearance rate has fallen in excess of 70%. Celine Campbell for CVM News.
3 people are in hospital following a collision in Runaway Bay, Sintan on Friday morning. Reports are the crash involved a tour bus and a Toyota Probox. Efforts to reach the Sintan police for further details up to news time proved futile. However, only this week there have been other crashes in Sintan claiming several lives and leaving others hospitalized. One crash along the Duns River Main Road on Wednesday left 3 people dead. Over 100 fatalities have been recorded in different sections of the country since the start of the year.
Now, in case you thought cyberbullying was a phenomenon impacting only the very young and naive, think again. Cyber experts agree that even large companies and groups can be left with a stained reputation after cutting ties with key people who control their cyber identity and operations. Nika Lewis explores how you can get help if your company falls victim.
Attacks from cyberbullies are becoming commonplace not only for individual users, but increasingly for businesses and groups. Local cyber expert Trevor Forrest outlines recent incidents that impacted several Twitter accounts of global and even local companies.
And then they start to impersonate the account, sending messages which would normally not come from these companies, but it then starts to impact the brand. So what you start to see and get is messages from an entity that just, don't make sense. Now, when the entity discovers this, they may try to reach out to whoever started to do this. And then, that entity or individual says, well, if you want me to stop, you're going to have to do.
A common practice he highlights is when companies outsource their social media and tech operations, or in some instances, separate from certain internal specialists, whose bitterness translates to malice.
The social media managers are terminated or they leave or whatever, but they still have access to the accounts.
How?
Yeah. And the business is because they outsource it. They have no control or clue of how to protect their accounts because all of the management was put into the hands of an external entity, right? Or an individual. So they may have somebody in-house that was doing it. Person gets fired, but they still have access to and control of the accounts, and they didn't properly secure those things before the individual was terminated or left. Suddenly they lose control of their accounts, and a brand that they have built over a very long period of time now is at the whim and fancy of a single person who has total control over those accounts.
Reminding cyber threats are not limited to the young, Forrest says companies locally seeking protection have several options to consider.
They actually have consultants, companies, and platforms that are designed to monitor a company's brand profile in the digital space, and to make sure that there aren't attempts being made to tarnish that brand, the image of the company, through hijacking of their various social media platforms and so on. In fact, my company, we're going to start providing a service that monitors that kind of thing for companies.
He bemoans the reality in Jamaica, in which he says despite relevant policies on cybersecurity now under review, the vast majority of the population remain unaware of how to protect themselves online. Nika Lewis, CVM News.
Stay with us. CVM News at 7 will continue in just a moment.
CVM News at 7 Headlines Friday, brought to you by SuperMed Family of Pharmacies. Super happy, super healthy, SuperMed.
So I'm at a party vibing with a 10. At least I hope it's a 10. But me not sure because my contacts fell down the bathroom sink, so I can't see a thing. I don't know what to do. What I do know though is the smell of KFC hot wings. Delicious, irresistible wings I can enjoy with my eyes closed. KFC hot wings, a wing for the win.
I know that you are a KC man.
Yeah man, 40 scanner, center non-protect. One college, anything else? And a cabbage.
I tell all them brethren themselves, listen me, I got England.
Jesus.
When them see me pop through the school, them say, I go on with England.
Go on. Baptized Chris?
Yeah. No,
we know you as a gallus.
Me a still
Can
Christian.
you be a gallus and be a Christian?
Does the triple X just blow up?
Blow up. No, a long time a big sustainer, brother.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Residents of Maxfield Park are this evening urging the government and the related stakeholders to get the Girls Down Training Institute back in operation. The institute has been closed for a number of years, but the locals say it benefited the community in more ways than one. Here's Trisha Gay Kelly with more.
The Girls Down Training Institute was a community project funded by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, and the Heart NSTA Trust. The institution shuttered its operations for a few years, but the residents believe reopening it is a remedy to curb much of the challenges impacting the youth in and around the area.
The closure of Girls Town is not a good thing. I think the government should have done something for reopen it back. Because it's a school, it's an institution where I train young people. If you even have a baby, you make a mistake in a life and you have a one baby, you can always go further, you think. Just over there, so the building over there are decaying. So people could over there learn something, I get certified, I try a thing. You understand what I mean? Because we have so much island in the community and around the community same way. People need to get certified for a lot of things right now because the way them set the system. If you're not certified, it don't make no sense. You just have a battle about. I mean, I like the government to consider it and open it up back because enough youth, me know right now, them trade are over there, so them things that them venture in, we do in a life, are over there, so them go learn the trade.
Despite the name Girls Town, many young men have also benefited from the school's existence. With young men being more prone to falling prey to the crime monster, they believe restarting the institution would be a very life-saving move. Past student and netball coach Wayne Wallace attained a food and nutrition certificate there and emphasizes how the school previously served the community.
Girls don't know them teach food and nutrition, housekeeping, and cosmetology, entrepreneurship. So them teach a variety of things you can use in your day-to-day life. Because I have a niece, I have two nieces that went there. And right now, them are doing a living off of the Cosmo. What them can do here and things, and it's because of Girls Town.
The young people are also urging the government to get the institute up and running.
So I'm calling upon the Prime Minister and the Minister of Education to, at least consider the reopening of Girls Town Institution.
Yeah, I'm calling up the Minister of Education to please open up Girls Town Training Institution. Because the youths out there say they really want to go over there back and say them can finish up what them used to do.
Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
After that scathing report by the Auditor General, which revealed the Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ spent nearly $357 million in the last 3 years leasing 2 properties it failed to occupy, the People's National Party is demanding one MP who has ties to one of the properties to step aside. Natalia Clark has more from a protest in St. Mary today.
Opposition members, alongside concerned residents from Monoto Bay St. Mary, gathered on Friday at the Main Street premises leased by the Tax Administration of Jamaica since January 2022. Despite shelling out over $15 million for the lease, the building sits unoccupied. Adding insult to injury, the original tax office in the vicinity remains shuttered since last November's earthquake.
Imagine places like Bernard and those places where people have to travel so far to get a tax office. You have taxi men who need to do their business. The taxi men usually operates right beside the tax office. Now that convenience is taken away from them. And if it's a case where they do not abide by the law in paying their taxes and registering their vehicles and stuff like that, it will be the same government who will be coming after them.
His sentiments are shared by the PNP's MP candidate for Southeast St. Mary, Lauren Ferguson, who says the people of St. Mary are gravely inconvenienced by the lack of a tax office in Monoto Bay.
The government should fix this tax office and save the millions that they are spending on rental. I don't have a problem with the office moves temporarily, and you pay some sort of compensation to get the tax office up and running, right? But fix the tax office. It can fix.
Former Mayor of Port Maria, Levan Freeman, adds the parish has lost revenue as a result of the unavailability of a tax office. He also echoed calls from the group for the JLP's MP Norman Dunn to step aside, alleging his ties to the unoccupied leased TAJ building are questionable. He also leveled other accusations.
So my concern is that we need to hear from the Member of Parliament what is going on. There need to be some forum that persons can ask questions
and get answers
as to what is taking place. It can't be that these allegations are made and is dumb to the situation.
CVM will not list the allegations, given our newsroom was unable to get in touch with State Minister Dunn. It is to be noted, however, that the Auditor General report concluded no evidence was found to support allegations that MP Dunn interfered with the TAJ's procurement process or influenced its decision to lease the property. Natalia Clark, CVM News.
And stay with us for the business segment with Andrew Laidley after this.
Codes ready, cash. Money, move. Take a loan, enter to win. Money, move. Win cash, win a bike or a smart TV. Could even win a brand new car. Take a ready cash loan of $80,000 or more between February 19 and April 18, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win cash, a TCL Smart TV, AKT bike, or a 2024 Honda Creta. Big money, move.
Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Codes ready, cash. Ready when you are. Big money, move.
Conditions apply.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
What's your story? What's your sign? We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive.
Get
Get ready for Exodus Carnival Week 2024. On April 3, it's Hennessy Exodus Fete Gala, masquerade events with performance by Voice. April 4, we pull up, park up, and party at Campari Exodus Tailgate. And on April 6, it's Campari Exodus Remedy, mini road march with performance by GBM Neutron. Visit ExodusCarnival.com for more information. Exodus Carnival, the biggest and best carnival band in Jamaica.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and business content at CVM TV News anytime, anywhere. Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
Jamaica's favorite drama, Your Guilty Pleasure.
Listen to me, Izzy Trevor Madden. I don't want you to gamble with my life or the lives of our children.
Royal Palm Estate is on CVM every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Brought to you by MIB Insure.
Switch to MIBinsure.com today and save serious money.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tammy.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVM TV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
I know that you are a KC man.
Yeah man, 40 scatter, center, non-protect. One college, anything else, just cabbage.
I tell all them brethren themselves, this me a guy England.
Jesus.
When them see me pop through the school, them say, I go on with England.
Baptized Chris?
Yeah. No,
we know you as a gallus.
Me a still
Can
Christian.
you be a gallus and be a Christian?
Those the triple X just blow up.
Blow up. No, a long time, a big sustainer, brother.
Good evening and welcome to the Business Report. I'm Andrew Laidley. The aim of every business is to be profitable. That's why corporate entities care about margins and the bottom line. Just as important, though, is the work corporate entities do in their communities, commonly referred to as corporate social responsibility. On this week's edition of Feel Good Finances, we take a look at the work being done by the Issa Trust Foundation. Established in 2005 as a non-profit, the Issa Trust Foundation is the philanthropic arm of Couples Resorts. The foundation's work spans health and education, mainly for children and teens. Chairman Paul Issa says the foundation has so far made a sizable investment, noting that it will continue to do so.
We added it up and we have saved the country $40 million through donations of pharmaceuticals, through donations that we've gotten from other foundations, international foundations, and given to the National Health Fund. And so over the years, we have made that, to put a value on it, to put a dollar value on it, $40 million.
He said the work of the foundation has also helped to boost booking at the resorts, as visitors also want to give back.
You'd be surprised how many people would like to help and they don't know what way they can help. So they donate to us, they go on, they work with us. And so it's a thing that our guests like very much about Couples, that there is the Issa Trust Foundation that is doing work in the community where they are visiting and having a great time.
He shared some of the success stories.
Ventilators for babies, neonatal infants who are born with problems, and without that machine, they would not survive. They would die. So we have met several parents whose children were saved because we had donated that machine and trained the staff at St. Anne's Bay how to operate it, and they were able to their infant that was in trouble from birth was able to survive thanks to that ventilator, and we have many stories like that.
The work continues with another significant investment, this time in the form of a health center for teens and children in St. Anne.
We're starting construction